Hey Top Dogs fans, this is Kit here. I'm back in the kitchen. I have a new recipe we're doing today. I've only done this once in the past, but it turned out so good. So today we are making stuffed meatball subs. So right here, you can see I've got a couple sticks of string cheese. And all we're going to do, cut them into nice, even, diced pieces. You can use any cheese you like. This is completely your preference. If you want to use diced pepper jack cheese or cheddar or whatever, you pick your cheese. These are your sandwiches. They're your meatballs. So I've got a bunch of diced cheese. Let's set those to the side for a bit. I've got my ground beef here. Anytime you're dealing with meat, especially, season your food. I know I say this every time. So add some salt. A nice handful of salt. And I think for meatball subs, garlic parmesan seasoning here. Gonna add, ooh, that was a little much. So add some garlic parmesan, and then just gonna get right in there with your hands. Start mixing it up. Do not be afraid to get your hands dirty. If you're afraid of getting your hands dirty, you can go to CVS, get some gloves, like disposable rubber gloves. That's what we use at work in a full service kitchen. That way anytime we handle ground beef, we don't have to stop and wash our hands. We just put on a new pair of gloves and keep going. It also prevents cross-contamination because sometimes people come through, they have allergies. Maybe they're allergic to shrimp or nuts. You don't want to make anybody sick. So anytime someone reports an allergy, we take our gloves off, put on a new pair of gloves, and prepare their food. The last thing you want to do is hurt somebody with your cooking. Now, one of my favorite cooking shows is actually Worst Cooks in America. I know it's silly. They do a lot of silly things on there, but those contestants who have hurt people with their food in the past are still learning how to cook safely. They're learning how to cook good food, and it's funny, but by the end of the seasons, some of the food they're cooking is actually a little more advanced than what I've ever done. But I really do love watching that show. Chef Ann Burrell actually is the one who taught me how to properly hold a knife. Not personally, just, through the TV. This ground beef was previously frozen and some of the center bits are still a little bit frozen. But that's okay. It won't make a difference for what we're using it for. Break it up so that I can work with it. Nice, neat, like Play-Doh. Like I said, don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. Dig right in. If you are scared of your food, it's gonna come out in the flavor. It's gonna taste like you didn't know what you were doing. We don't want that. You should always cook like you know what you're doing, even if you don't. That was my oven preheating. Alright, now we got some nice seasoned ground beef. Take a piece of your cheese and take some ground beef, press it in there. I think maybe that's a little bit too much ground beef. Keep in mind, a smaller meatball will cook faster than a big one. So you should always be aware of how big you're making your meatballs. Roll it, roll it, roll it, roll it. Meatball, it's about golf ball sized. And it will shrink just a little bit in the cooking process, but not much. It may still be a tad too big actually, but that's okay. We're gonna keep going. Roll it, roll it, roll it. I know it seems like a lot of work, and it might be, but it's easy. Anybody can make meatballs. It's just time consuming. And the size of these meatballs and the size of our sandwich rolls, we're only going to wind up with like 3 meatballs per roll because these are still on the large side. But again, they've got cheese in the middle. Everybody loves cheese. Just trying to run out of room on my cutting board.
You are?
Yeah, filling it up.
I can't see anything but. Ooh, nice.
We are learning how to navigate with fursuit heads on.
Yes.
They don't tell you that it's impossible to see through these things.
I can't see anything down.
Yeah, so be careful going downstairs. Some of these meatballs are a little bit larger than others. I'm not very consistent today.
It's fine. It might cook a bit longer, but I'll still eat it.
That tastes the same.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm actually going to use 100% of what I prepared either. So that's also good news.
Yeah. I don't know. People wear these for an entire con. Oh my god, I'm really sweating.
That's why Stream has his whole cooling kit that he's talked about before. Yeah, mine's not quite done yet. We've still got few more adjustments to make to my fursuit head, but I'm pretty happy. I'm running out of room. Too many meatballs. Never.
After you prep the meatballs, how long do you usually cook them for?
That's hard to say. You cook them until they're done. That is the nature of meat. Technically, you want to cook them until their internal temperature reaches 165. 165 for chicken. Some people like their beef a little bit less than that. So a medium well for beef would be like 155. So as long as you bring your beef up above 145 and it stays there for 10 seconds above 145, then it should be safe to eat. But I'm taking some off of some of these larger meatballs that I made for this last one.
Yeah, they're all different sizes.
But yeah, beef is a little bit more flexible than chicken. Chicken needs to be above 165. Beef can be a little bit less because everybody likes their steak cooked to a different temperature. I like a nice medium rare on my steak, but for my ground beef, I still want it a little bit more than that. So as far as how long they cook, that's hard to say. I'm looking over my meatballs, trying to
Right away.
peel closed any of the big cracks. That way they don't fall apart in the skillet. That would be tragic. I'll do this all before I wash my hands and start touching anything else. Alright, so I think my meatballs, for the most part, are now the same size. I do have a few pieces of cheese left over. I'm going to go wash my hands. Dry my hands off with my fox towel. The fox is all over this kitchen. Now, we've got our skillet. I'll just turn the stove on. Got our utensils. We've already washed our hands. We don't want to dirty our hands up again right away. And in the skillet, we're going to coat it nicely with some olive oil. And then back here, I've got my marinara sauce. It's just a store-bought marinara sauce. You can make your own if you want. It's not difficult. Just some unseasoned tomato sauce, a little garlic, basil, salt, oregano. You can season it up any way you want. I'm waiting for this skillet to get nice and hot. No, I'm not touching the skillet.
Oh, face review.
Yeah, it's too hot in there right now.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Feed me the meatballs. I am hungry. Rawr.
And now we've got it nice, coated, shiny olive oil. We're gonna take them, gonna drop them in. We don't want to crowd the pan. We want to let them have some space between each meatball. So if you put them all on top of each other, then it will take them longer to cook. I know I just said not to put them all on top of each other, but I'm about to anyways. There. This cutting board has had raw meat on it, so we need to get it out of the way. So what we can do now to help these cook a bit faster, we can actually put a lid on it. What that's going to do is it's going to trap the steam inside of the container. Steam conducts heat very well, so that'll help each one cook evenly. You can already see it fogging up in here. So once these are fully cooked or mostly cooked, I'm going to transfer them over here to this dish. And once they're in here, I'm going to pop them in the oven, kind of let them finish in the oven. I've got the oven on a low setting at 250 right now. So that'll help them cook all the way through. Once they're fully cooked all the way through to the center, to the nice gooey melty cheese, I'm going to grab some hoagie rolls, plate them up, put some sauce on it. So sit tight, we'll be right back. And we are back. All right, guys, the meatballs are done. They look fantastic. We've got our bun opened up already. So all we're gonna do now, we're gonna take 1, 2, 3 meatballs. We've got our sauce right here, all warmed up. Spoon it right over the top. A little more, like it saucy. All right, look at this. I'm gonna make it look a little bit fancy here. I've got some Italian herbs, just a light sprinkle over the top, and it is done. Let's take a look at this. Oh yeah. Now, you all can top it with more cheese if you want. I know sometimes you see meatball subs with some melted provolone cheese laid straight over the top. I don't have any of that today, but remember, we put the cheese inside the meatballs this time. So that's it. That's how easy stuffed meatballs are. You know, if you want, like I said, I hope you enjoyed watching this with us, learning how to make stuffed meatball subs. If you want to support me, help me pay for these ingredients, help me continue to produce these videos, you can always donate to my Ko-Fi, Kit's Kitchen. We also have, as part of our Top Dogs podcast Discord channel, I've also got a thread specifically for Kit's Kitchen. So you can ask me any questions you want. I love to talk about food. Ask me questions, give suggestions, share recipes. Please, I'm always happy to talk about food. So yeah, give us a follow, like, subscribe, tune in next time. Thank you so much.